So, hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Paige Gimble. I'm coming from you from Chico, California, and I am so excited today to have Dr. Larry Martin on the call to talk about our new, soon to be released product X. And I've been telling everybody, I was going through the slides um, a couple of, the last day or so, putting together some graphics for the slides, and every single slide Larry had sent me, it's like my jaw was just dropping. It's like, I cannot believe what this product has to offer. So with that, I'm going to turn this call, I'm going to share my screen. We have a PowerPoint slide presentation for y'all, and then I'm going to turn my screen over and turn the call over to Dr. Larry Martin. And hold on, let me get this going real quick, Larry, and then it will be all yours. Where am I? What? I have to get that thing out of there. Okay, hold on here. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Dr. Larry Martin. Do a quick introduction. Dr. Martin has a doctorate from the University of Florida School of Medicine, and he has studied homeopathic holistic medicine for the School of Health Science in Paris, France. He has worked for several years following that, following the advances of cellular research. This is really where his specialty is, what oxidative stress and the effects it has on triggering disease processes. And he follows the development of several new innovative products that aid in our body's ability to defend against disease at the genomic level. And this is I just want you guys to understand how knowledgeable this man is. Every single question we have about the products that are being introduced to the Actis product profile, Dr. Larry is our go-to person to go ask those questions and to validate it to our prospects when we're talking to people. So I just really appreciate you, Dr. Larry. And with that, thank you for everything that you add to our team. And let's talk about Product X.
So good morning, everyone. So this has been long coming. I've been digging through literally hundreds of research studies on turmeric, curcumin, tetrahydrocurcumin, and to try to understand the unique differences of those. And so I'm going to present just a touch on what each of these components are, and hopefully get you to understand why this product, for those of you who are fortunate enough to be taking it, why it's so effective. And for those of you ready and waiting to take it, you're going to be impressed immensely as I am. And I keep telling people I'm not one easily impressed. I've been looking at science for a lot of years. This is product number 3 in the Actives suitcase that I'm incredibly impressed with exactly what it is. So let's talk about it. Product X is our new solution to low-level inflammation and acute pain. Don't get focused on the low level, because I'm telling you, as my experience, I have pretty high level of inflammation, and I'm absolutely loving this product. Inflammation is a part of the body's natural defense, as you know, and it's part of the system that when the white blood cells release substances designed to combat viruses and bacteria and injury, it's that inflammation that helps reverse those processes. The process can also be accompanied by a barrage of unfavorable side effects. And for those of you who have inflammation pathologies understand this probably all too well. The effects like heat and fever, swelling, pain, all of these cause damage to the body, and it upsets that balance of inflammation, causing those aches and pains that the body experiences. So let's talk about the ingredients. Most of us know and have heard the tetrahydrocurcumin is the THC is the primary ingredient in our product X, but what you may not know is the second ingredient, and that is Boswellia serrata, also known as Indian frankincense. And I love this. When I found this information, I've always talked about frankincense and knew that it had some good herbal potential for healing, but I didn't understand much about it, and I really didn't know anybody utilizing it. But I always liked it just for the sense that I figured, you know, if it's something that they gave to Christ at his birth, there must have been some pretty good worth to that particular product. So, and it may not be the same, but it's kind of fun to put that into that context. So, along with these two products, this has been used in ancient medicine for literally centuries, pre-Christ days, in fact. Curcumin is the main active ingredient out of turmeric, and the curcumin content in turmeric is pretty small. Total weight of is about 3% of the turmeric root can be curcumin can be extracted from. And they said the recommended effective dosage is roughly 1 gram a day. It's poorly absorbed, and it's remedied by mixing with black pepper. And the reason is because it will increase the absorption of the curcumin by 2,000%, which many people don't understand is that there are some health side effects by adding black pepper to curcumin, especially for people with heart and stroke diseases that may be on pharmaceutical medicines. That black pepper has some adverse reactions and is strongly advised not to take it. What are the benefits of curcumin? Well, it's a strong anti-inflammatory, as most of us know. It's powerful in that it matches the effectiveness of prescriptive inflammatory drugs without the known side effects. And those anti-inflammatory drugs are NSAIDs. And we'll talk about a couple of those here in just a minute. I'm following my slides because I'm on my phone and I can't read the slides to keep up with it. So also curcumin blocks the NFKB molecule, and this is the one that turns on our inflammatory genes. It's known to, some of the benefits that curcumin is known for is it can boost the brain neurotropic factors. It's linked to improve other brain functions and lower risk of brain diseases. It is known to lower risk for heart disease, and it helps prevent and possibly even perhaps treat cancer. And that's, I always caution in talking about the word treat or cure. As you know, any over-the-counter products, food-based supplements, we can't advise that it treats or cures any diseases. However, I can tell you that being in the research arena, there are many studies now that are linking a number of these herbal products as being factors, and those researchers have the prerogative of being bold. And when I say that, there are a number of studies, and those of you that enjoy reading them as well will find occasionally an author will write this particular herb may be considered for treatment options and then list the disease pathologies. Certainly curcumin is one that is being investigated very highly in the arena of cancer prevention or reversing of cancer pathologies. I certainly recommend anybody that has been diagnosed with cancer that they are on a number of our products, the NRF2 product, because we know that upregulating NRF2 is a defense at helping with any disease pathology. I also recommend the Link product for similar reason. That is a NRF2 activator as well, but certainly it is from the gut level. We want the microbiome functioning at the best that it possibly can. So now with this third product, the reason I am putting these slides together in the manner that I have is that I want you to walk away from this presentation not, how do I want to say this? The buzz about product X has been that it's a pain product, a anti-inflammatory product, and it is all of that. And it's an incredible product in that response. But it's not a product that you only want to take like Tylenol when you have a headache or when you have a sprained ankle or where you want to reduce that inflammation type of pain. And that's all you're going to get from it. I want you to understand that there are a whole lot of health benefits from these ingredients, from curcumin and also the Boswellia serrata that's in it as well. So let's continue on. So it may be also useful in preventing and treating of Alzheimer's disease. It's and as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the most recognized places or pathologies where you're going to see people gain great smiles with this is when you're talking about with patients or with friends who have arthritis issues. It is so effective at reducing that arthritic inflammation pain that they suffer with that. It's also, curcumin is known in studies for fighting many age-related chronic diseases. So the next extract out of turmeric and out of curcumin is what we're utilizing, and that's the tetrahydrocurcumin, the THC version of curcumin. A lot of studies looking at the two of them, trying to focus on, is one of these two extracts better than the other? Initially, I think you'll see early on that they highlighted the curcumin as being a stronger version, but now in more recent studies, that's being reversed, and the tetrahydrocurcumin is the one that is recognized as having the greatest efficacy between the two as an antioxidant product. So the benefits of tetrahydrocurcumin are, as I said, antioxidant activities, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, neurologic, and anti-diabetics. All of these are, I'm making these statements because there are very impressive literature, published studies suggesting that this particular extract out of turmeric is beneficial in those different disorders. So let's talk about Boswellia serrata. Boswellia serrata is also known as Indian frankincense. It's native in the desert hills of the Middle East and provides an excellent natural anti-inflammatory properties. And it also is beneficial in osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, headaches, brain tumors. And again, as I say these things, they're on here because I'm finding literature that says these ingredients are doing very well in the research in those arenas. So also anti-inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, and Crohn's disease. Now, I'm going to pause you just a little bit, and I hope that you, being knowledgeable about the Link product, that you understand that we're starting to see some duplication here. Anytime you can improve the function of the cellular system in the body, you're going to see improvements in some of the same disease pathologies. And the reason for that is that these are autoimmune related pathologies. That means that they have been triggered via the epigenetic changes of the cellular system that has caused these disease pathologies to be generated, that the cells are switching to create the heart disease, create the arthritis, create the bowel disorders, if you will. So even though we know that the Link product is great for these these bowel inflammatory processes, we can add other products to the body in an herbal approach that can do the same thing, or in my opinion, add to the benefit of working with those pathologies. So one of the neatest things I found when I started researching this is a study that was produced in India that it had a product that's similar into as far as its components of curcumin and boswellia. And that study did a comparative, it was a double-blind study, human trial study that did a comparative with an NSAID product. Many of you might be familiar with the pharmaceutical called Celebrex. Celebrex is a prescription product that's given to patients with high inflammatory processes from injury. It is a great pain reliever and it does a really good job. However, those of you knowledgeable about NSAIDs, they're not a good product to take. They're not intended for long-term use. However, many physicians will keep writing that script over and over and over again. They cause a lot of damage to the body. They're not a product I would recommend patients to take. I'll go back and talk a little bit about my own health history. Having been in 2 car accidents in the last 10 years, both generated by the courtesy of a drunk driver, I have chronic pain that has been ongoing since the very first accident and made worse from the second. And I can tell you, I've done a few narcotic drugs only long enough to determine that I will not take them. And I've never done any NSAID pain relievers. I would rather just deal with it and opposed to trying to give my body, which is already has a number of autoimmune related issues, I don't need to make that worse. So I stay away from those type of products. And I can tell you that sitting here today, I am one happy camper with product. I'm going to laugh a little bit with Product X. It's working great. So this particular study looked at Celebrex, and the results of a 12-week study showed that those taking the herbal combination of the boswellia and the curcumin had a 93% improvement in their osteoarthritis. And the subjects could walk, 93% of them could walk 1,000 meters, where only 80% on the, it was actually the genetic version of Celebrex, and 86% of those could do that same 1,000-meter walk. 93% of the herbals treated reported improvements in their pain versus 79% on the prescription drug that were treated. So according to the authors of the study, the herbal combination of the tetrahydrocurcumin and the boswellia outperformed the drug product Celecoxib, which is, or Celecoxib, improved that crunching sensation that arthritic patients get in their knees. So as you bend over and squat down, you'll hear this crunching or feel this horrible, annoying crunching in the joint, which is also associated with quite a bit of pain often with that. And so 93% of those felt that that improved that particular issue, and also they showed better range in motion with the herbal combination. So that's where we're at. I wish I could tell you I know 100% that the Product X, these are the only 2 herbs in there. My suspicion is that is all. But until I know for sure when they give us the ingredient list, that's what we have, is these 2 particular products. The research in both of these 2 herbs as I mentioned, are both high antioxidant and high in anti-inflammatory principle. But combined together, they synergistically are recorded as being 10 times more effective than the two individual products. And so I'll leave that with you. I'll let you talk about the product specials that are going on right now. Most of you are probably aware of that. But
that's amazing, Dr. Larry. And, you know, we do have a couple of minutes, but you know, like I said, I was just blown away when I was going through these slides last night. And we have a couple of minutes, Dr. Larry. Would you be open to taking a couple of questions from anyone?
absolutely.
If anybody has a question? If anybody has a question, that would be awesome. I'll start off with a question that I have a burning desire to understand more about. You mentioned at the very beginning of the presentation that we have to have an understanding of really what we're doing with Product X. David Brown was at Paul Sadowski's house a couple of nights ago, and he was talking quite a bit about Product X also. And he mentioned something that I thought was very interesting. He said that you know, we all have inflammation in our body, and what Product X does is that it attacks that low-grade inflammation. And I know it works on acute inflammation also, but that constant low-grade inflammation, he said that once we can take that away from how our body is working, then our body can focus on the things it needs to be doing. I think that's something that you touched on about the cellular health. I'm just wondering if you might be able to help us better understand that dynamic.
Well, certainly, and what he's referring to, and that this goes back to the epigenetic process, if you will. The gene expressions that we know that are involved with the utilization of our genomics from Mexico is upregulating, or if necessary, down-regulating gene expressions. So there are genes that are called our inflammatory genes. And once they get activated, they start dumping their chemical into the body that creates this low-grade inflammation throughout our cells. And that becomes a free radical. That is causing damage to other cellular structures, other portions of the cell that can get it to go into a morphation or again an epigenetic change that is the causation of many of the disease pathologies that we develop in our bodies. So anything related to autoimmune, as we keep hearing that, is related because of this upset of the way the gene expressions are occurring. That whole process slows down, as we know, starting around 11, 12, 13 years of age. And that as that slows down and those expressions are no longer activated at the levels that we had in our younger years as we're growing, then the disease processes are more apt to occur, the morphation or the epigenetic changes that occur. What we do now know with epigenetics is that if something can change into something, we can also change it back. And that's what we're dealing with many of our products, is that we're getting these genes to express differently. So if if the switch is on to turn on the inflammatory gene, then we can go in there with these products and shut that gene down so that we're no longer having these bouts of high level of low-grade inflammation or even chronic inflammation, which many of us as we age start to develop. Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. I love that. We have one more question. It's from Janice, and she asked, do you know anything about how it is eliminated as compared to the damage done by the NSAIDs? Is that how you say that? And
Yeah,
then
NSAIDs.
how about people who are on blood thinners? So I'm not quite sure what that question is, but if you need more information, we can get Janice on to ask.
No, that's fine. There's no correlation between any other pharmaceuticals with this product, and that's why it's so incredible to be able to have an herbal product like this. I talk about this when I talk about our NRF2 product. It's real easy to take a look at a herbal product, and especially one that is as strong as our three products are. All of these are natural producing products, either in a food-based approach or the body actually produces it in the case of butyric acid. And so there's no interference with what we're putting into the body with these three products, with how the body functions. They're treated in the body like food. And so we're nourishing cells with these ingredients. And by nourishing these cells, they're now operating in the manner that they should have been working previously. It's just our dietary system no longer gives us the ability to feed those cells in the manner that they're designed to be, the need that they are designed to have. And so, not to be concerned with them, but I started to say that we see how powerful these products are, and we want to compare them to medicine. And the thing with medicines is that they're chemically based mostly, and they're designed to have to be extracted via the kidney, via the liver, one way or another. They have to come out of the system, whereas these food-based products are either absorbed or the excess of it is just brought out through our normal dietary approach, if you will.
Awesome. Well, that is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get more information about this, as I know you can't either.
Yeah.
And the slide that we're looking at right now, everyone, I know many of you on this call right now, or maybe listening to the replay of this, are not involved with Active yet. But for those that are, you have an opportunity to get a free bottle of product X this next month in May. We have an incentive going. The corporate has an incentive going. If you roll in 3 distributors of any pack, you'll receive 2 bottles of Link and 1 bottle of Product X. This stuff is gold. There's a reason why they called it gold back in the day when it was given to Christ. And so this is where, as what Rita had mentioned on the text, so that was really interesting information. And so I wanted to share this with you guys. Also, I know we're coming up to our witching hour of 30 minutes. Thank you guys very much for coming and listening and being with us this morning. Always enjoy our get-togethers on Zoom. My question to you, are you registered for ribbon cutting? It's May 31st to June 1st. We have an amazing group of people that will be attending. There's going to be some great information. We're going to be able to meet the advisory board there, all the corporate staff, and each and every one of you guys. Many of us have never met in person. I'm so looking forward to that. So please register. We will be putting together a special WhatsApp broadcast channel for ribbon cutting. I will be posting today on our Facebook page and getting everybody's name so we can get them in that chat. So please look for that. And I will be calling a special Monday night team meeting. Look for the information on that. I hope you guys can all get on live Monday night. And with that, any last words of wisdom, Dr. Larry?
Yeah, I do. Talking about the ribbon cutting event, I do not know that Dr. Patel is going to be doing a presentation on Product X. And I, for one, am excited to be able to hear what he has to say. Dr. Patel is a very renowned pain management specialist out of the New York City area, New Jersey region. And for those of you attending it, I trust that you will not be disappointed when you hear his presentation. I know he's been working with this product for probably much longer than I have, so I'm excited to be able to hear his insights on it.
Yeah, David Brown mentioned that also. So that's something like, can't wait to get those sound bites on that one. So with that, if anybody has any more questions, I think that we're pretty much done with our presentation today. Thank you guys all for coming on board tonight, and can't wait to see you all in a couple of weeks in Salt Lake City. With that, you guys all have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Larry. You're a blessing to us.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you, Dr.
everyone.
Larry, and thank you, Paige.
Thank you
you,
so
guys.
much. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Dr.
it.
Larry.
Well, you're
Very
welcome.
informative.
Thank you, Dr. Larry.
Great meeting.
Hey,
Thank you,
Jerry.
Dr. Larry.
Yep.